Hey everyone, thanks for being here. So, like I mentioned, we'll do some back bend mobility today. Just kind of ease into the back bends, into our spines. Yeah, just see how it feels. Okay, so come into Samasthiti. Big toes together with the heels slightly apart. Maybe just take a moment here, close the eyes, draw the shoulders back and down as the feet root down into the ground, the crown of the head reaches up. So you're standing up tall with a strong foundation. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Good. Let's bring the palms to heart center for just one Om together. Inhale, deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, bring the arms back down to your side, opening the eyes, and we'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, let's bring the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine, relax the neck. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back into a plank. Lower the knees to modify, bend the elbows for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Point the toes, lift the heart any amount, just easing into the spine. Exhale into downward facing dog. And we'll be here for a few breaths. You could also take child's pose at any moment in the class. You're more than welcome to take a child's pose. If you want, you can sway the hips side to side, maybe bending one knee, bending the other knee. Just sort of easing into this first downward facing dog hold. Good, deepening the breath. Let's take one more. Fully exhale. Inhale as you step or jump to the top into half lift. Exhale, fold forward. You can bend the knees here. Inhale, come to stand, press down, reach up. Exhale, float the arms back down into Samasthiti. Again, just like that. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine. Bend the knees again here if you need to. Inhale, half lift. Root down through the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend the elbows, knees lifted or lowered. Inhale, upward facing dog. Point the toes. Maybe lift the thighs, strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Settling here. Settling into the body and establishing the breath. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales as you smooth out the edges of the breath. Drawing in the lower belly. One more breath. Fully exhale. And on your next inhale, step or jump into half lift, lengthening. Exhale, folding. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down. As you reach up, exhale, float the arms back down to your side. Again, inhale, moving with the breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend the elbows, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the shoulders, lift the heart, reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling. Relaxing the neck. Lengthening the back of the neck to gaze up towards the thighs or towards the navel. Good, as you root through the hands and wrap the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body. So you're spreading and widening the upper back. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Fully exhale. Inhale, step or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press down, reach up. Exhale, float the arms back down to your side. Let's take Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift up, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Draw the lower belly in as you bend. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana, root down through the feet. Exhale, come down, step back, bend the elbows, finish the exhale at the bottom. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot forward. Inhale, press through the feet as you come up. Exhale, come to the breath. If you lost it, step back as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Settling here. Deep, steady breathing. Releasing the soft palate, the tension in the throat as you tone the vocal cords for Ujjayi breathing. Keep lifting the sit bones up and back. One more breath. Fully exhale. Step or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, reach the arms up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Let's take one more. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold, moving with the breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, right foot forward. Inhale, press down to reach up. Exhale, stay with the breath. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot forward. Inhale. And exhale, come down. Step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settle. One more breath. Fully exhale. Step or jump into half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees, reach the arms and the heart up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Good. Inhale, bring the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, hold upward facing dog. And then you're going to look over the left shoulder. You can bend the left knee if you'd like, as you reach back through your right foot. Looking over the left shoulder, keep pressing through both hands. Press the shoulders, lift the heart. It's active on the arms. Okay, switch sides. You can bend the right knee and rest it on the floor. And then engage the left leg. Lift the knee off the floor as you reach back through, actively back through the left foot. Look over the right shoulder. So we're just getting into the front of the left hip a little bit more. Good. Inhale back to the center. If you can, press through the tops of the feet. Lift the thighs. Press through the hands. Lift the heart as you reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. So that's kind of an arm workout too a little bit. Inhale, let's bring the right foot forward into Parsva Konasana A. So bring the right foot forward and bend into the right knee. And then you're going to bring the right hand on the inside of the right foot and reach the left arm straight up. So extended side angle, just a little bit different if you're used to doing it the conventional way in Ashtanga. You could also do it that way if you like. It's nice to just change it up sometimes and feel this straight line between the right hand and the left arm. Good, strong legs, keep rooting through the feet. On your next exhale, we're going to go into half moon pose. So you're going to bring the right hand to the top right corner of the mat, pick up the left leg, straighten the right leg, and reach the left arm up. Good. If you need to put the hand on the block because the hamstrings are a little bit tighter today, that's fine. And you can flex that left foot, reach back to the left heel. And you're reaching out through all four limbs. A couple more breaths here. If you want, you can gaze to the side or up towards the left hand. Good. One more breath. Draw the lower belly in. On your next exhale, bend into the right knee. Let's come into a high plank. Inhale. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. So on the left side, left foot forward, back heel down, bend into the left knee, bring the left hand on the inside of the left foot and reach the right arm straight up. You can use that right arm to press the left arm to press the left knee back. As you root through the outside edge of the right foot, keep reaching out through both arms. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Exhale. Left hand comes to the top left corner of the mat, or maybe outside of the mat, just depending on how you're set up on your mat. And then reach the right arm straight up. Flex the right foot. Reach the right heel back. As you reach the tailbone back, draw the lower belly in so you hollow through the front of the pelvis. And then reach out through all four limbs, maybe gazing up. Stay with it. Legs are strong. One more breath. As you exhale, bend into the left knee to make your way into a high plank. Inhale there. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale. Let's bring the right foot forward and come up into a high lunge. So reach the arms over your head. Good. And keep the back heel lifted. So the left heel is lifted. So you're just pressing down through the feet and maybe start to tuck the tailbone under as you keep bending into the right knee. So as you tuck the tailbone under and rotate the pelvis under, so you're moving it in the opposite direction as a back bend. You might feel a little bit more of a stretch through the front of the left hip. As you exhale, let's move into a twist. So your left hand reaches forward, your right arm reaches back, and you twist over to the right. And then if you want, you can place the hands on the outsides of the legs. So the left hand to the outside of the right knee, the right hand to the outside of the left thigh. And then you press into them to deepen the twist. For 3, 2, and 1. Lower that left knee. You can bring the hands to the floor. Let's just do some passive stretching here into the front of the left hip. You can untuck the toes, and then if you'd like, you can be here, just allowing the pelvis to move towards the floor. Or you can bring the right forearm to the thigh, bend the left knee, and bring the foot towards the glute. Softening where you can. Good. Deep breaths. 5 deep breaths. 5. With each exhale, see if you can soften a little bit more. 4. 3. 2. 1. Release that. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe feel the difference between the left and the right. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward into a high lunge. Arms over your head and the palms are facing each other. The legs are super strong as you reach the left knee forward, reach the right heel back, and drop the tailbone. So you're putting a little bit more stretch into the front of the right thigh. One more breath here. Inhale. And as you exhale into the twist, right hand reaches forward, left arm reaches back. And then if you want, you can place the hands on the outside of the knee and the thigh, and then press into the knee and the thigh to deepen the twist as you continue dropping the tailbone. Find the breath, deep breaths for 3, 2, and 1. Release that, lower the right knee. You can have the hands on the floor, letting the hips sink down to the floor. And you can stay here, or you can bend the knee, catch the foot. Deep breaths, relaxing where you can. For 3. Good. For 2. And 1. Good. Release that. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come up into a half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand. Press down as you reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's just do one more set of standing postures. Inhale, step the right foot or the left foot back. Feet parallel to each other for Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands to your hips. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, press through the feet, reach the heart forward, and then exhale, fold forward, crown of the head towards the mat. If the elbows are bent, you can walk the hands back a little bit. Legs are strong as you softly draw the lower belly in. Deep breaths. Relaxing the neck. One more breath here. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Exhale fully. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale there. Inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, reach the hands down as you lift the heart. Exhale, allow the hands to move away from the body as you soften the shoulders, soften the neck, getting into the shoulders. Keep the legs strong and keep drawing the lower belly in. Come into the breath. The tone in the vocal cords, deepening each breath. Feel into the body. One more breath. Without forcing, just allow the body to be where it is. And on your next inhale, press down to come all the way up to the top. Exhale into Samasthiti. Fully exhale. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, one more standing posture. Inhale, jump both feet forward. Bend the knees, reach the arms up. Utkatasana, 5 breaths here. Feel the foundation through the legs. Legs are strong and the hips are reaching down. And then the spine is rising up. The heart is reaching up. The pinkies are reaching up. Good, keep the lower belly drawn in. One more breath. Exhale, twist over to the left. Keep the knees bent. Bring the right elbow over to the left thigh. And then you're going to keep the hands in prayer, or you can bring the right hand to the floor with the shoulder on the outside of the knee. Reach the left arm up. Keep the legs strong. Keep dropping the tailbone as you press down through the feet. For 3, clipping that left hip back and towards the midline. 2, 1. Inhale, try to keep the knees bent in between. Exhale, over to the right. Hands in prayer, or the left hand to the floor. Keep dropping the tailbone as you clip that right hip back and towards the midline. Legs are strong. Feel the foundation. For 3, 2, deep breaths. 1. Inhale, back to Utkatasana. Exhale, folds forward, straight legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through for Dandasana. Legs are straight, feet are flexed, hands next to the hips. If it's difficult to find a straight spine here, bend the knees and press the heels down and towards you. And then you should feel some rotation in the pelvis, maybe, if that's available. Once you get that rotation in the pelvis, then the spine can be straight, the heart can be open, and then you drop the chin. Let's take about 3 more breaths here, settling in, feeling the residue from the standing postures. One more deep breath. And releasing that, let's take a Paschimottanasana. Inhale, catch the big toes, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. If you can't catch the big toes, you can have the fingertips on the floor alongside the legs. When you fold forward, keep the legs strong, keep the feet awake, the feet together, the heels rooting down. And the heart opening, reaching towards the toes as you relax the muscles along the back to move into the forward fold. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Let's go into Purvottanasana. Rotate the pelvis under so the sit bones reach towards the heels. Point the toes. Hands behind the back, fingertips pointing forward. Fully exhale. Inhale, lift up into reverse plank. Reach the tailbone forward, the toes forward, and the hips up. Maybe you drop the head back. Good. You could also bend the knees and plant the feet here if you need to. Find another form. If the legs are straight, keep the feet together. For 3, keep lifting the pelvis, lifting the heart. 2, and 1, slowly lower down. Good, let's take a vinyasa, cross the shins, roll over the feet, inhale into a high plank, or you can lift up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. And we're gonna do, this might be a little bit unexpected, but we're gonna do Navasana. Into this Navasana into a low Navasana where the lower back is touching the floor, because I find when I fire up the core, it really helps to support my back bends so I don't like dump down into the lower back. So we wake up the core to keep moving the energy up towards the heart. It's been something that I've noticed and it's been really helpful. So let's just try. Okay, so find Navasana. You can either be with the feet on the floor, the feet parallel to in line with the knees, or the legs straight. Good. For 4, lift the heart. 3, nice. 2, 1, lower down, rotate the pelvis under so the lower back touches the floor. The shoulders are lifted and the legs can be straight and lifted, or you can bend the knees so that the toes touch the floor. For 3, keep pressing the lower back into the mat. For 2, keep lifting the shoulders. 1 more breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, slide the hands behind the hips. We're going to do it again, but we're going to do Purvottanasana in between. Inhale, lift the pelvis for just 1 breath. Exhale, come down. Good. We're going to do that 2 more times. Navasana. 5, 4, deep breaths. 2, you can always have the feet on the floor. And 1, exhale, lower down, low Navasana. 5, keep pressing the lower back down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come up, straighten the legs. Exhale, slide the hands behind the hips. Inhale, lift up for just 1 breath. And exhale, come down. Again, Navasana. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. 5, 4, 3, stay with it. This is the last one. 2, 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, straighten the legs. Slide the hands behind the hips. Inhale, lift the pelvis. And exhale, come down. Good. Let's take a vinyasa across the shins. Lift up, make your way into a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe stay here an extra breath. And when you're ready, exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's shift into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana, but come all the way down to your belly. For shalabhasana, keep the feet together. Straighten the legs. Reach the toes back as the arms are alongside the body, palms facing up. Inhale, lift the legs, lift the heart. And find length through the spine so the toes are reaching back and the heart is reaching forward. Good. See if the back of the thighs can roll away from each other as you keep the legs straight. Good. 2 more breaths. Keep lengthening through the spine. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come back up. This time reach the arms straight out to the side. Inhale, lift. Lift the feet, lift the heart, straighten the legs, and reach the arms to the side. Again, finding length. The toes reach back, the heart reaches forward. Good. 1 more breath. Exhale, lower down. 1 more variation of shalabhasana with the arms reaching forward over your head. Inhale, reach up. You can have the palms facing each other. Reach through the pinkies. And if it feels better for the neck to gaze down, lengthen the back of the neck. So you're reaching through those 2 directions for 3. Spread the back of the thighs away from each other. 2. And 1. Good. Hands next to your chest. Tuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down. Let's come into a Sphinx position. So the elbows are underneath the shoulders, but if that's too much pressure in the lower back, slide the elbows forward. Good, and just take a couple breaths here in a passive Sphinx. So relaxing the lower body. Deep breaths. Start to move up the spine. Now let's activate the Sphinx. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Lift the kneecaps off the floor. And then keep the toes energetically reaching back as the pubic bone also reaches back. And then in the opposite direction, feel the elbows pressing down and towards you. So you feel like you're pulling the heart forward. You're reaching the rib cage away from the pelvis. Press the shoulders to keep lifting the heart. Good, and it feels like you're dragging the elbows back to pull the heart through the shoulder blades. 5 more breaths here. The toes and the pubic bone reach back. The rib cage and the heart reaches forward. So feeling that length through the front side of the body. And then see if the glutes are super engaged, if you can move the glutes away from each other. You can turn them on, but try not to squeeze them in towards the center. 1 more breath here. And then exhale, release that. You can come down, bring the head to the floor, make a pillow with your hands, and just shake out the hips a little. Good. Okay, come back to Sphinx. But this time you're going to turn, I'm going to do the left side first just so that you can see me, but you can do the right side first if you want. So you're going to turn for the left side. You're going to turn the right forearm in at a diagonal so that the left arm can be free and you're still supported. Then you're going to reach back with the palm facing out. Catch the arch side of the left foot. And we're going to kick into the left foot. So the thigh may lift off the floor a little bit. And you feel the shoulder, the left shoulder kind of rolling back into external rotation. And get a nice stretch through the shoulder. And keep pressing the foot, kicking the foot into the hand as you press the right forearm into the mat to help reach the heart and the rib cage forward. Good, make this active for 3. You can tuck the right toes and lift the thigh if you want, if that helps to stabilize, or just engage the right leg. 1 more breath. And then exhale, release that. And then bring the foot towards the glute, as close as you can. Good, and then if you want to try to go for that Bakasana bind, you spin the fingertips so they're facing forward as the elbow points up. So this is only going to make sense if you have the foot close enough to the glute where you can switch the grip. If not, it's kind of useless. And then you can press the foot towards the outside edge of the left hip, tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and lift the left knee. Good. For 3, keep reaching the heart and the rib cage forward. For 2, and 1. Good. Release that. Take a little break if you need to. If you need to lie down to just give the back a break, you can. And when you're ready, let's do the other side. Now the left forearm is at a diagonal. Bend the right knee. Reach back with the right arm, palm facing out, catch the arch side of the right foot. And then kick the right foot into the hand so the thigh lifts from the floor just a little bit as you roll that right shoulder open. So it feels like you're kind of rolling the right shoulder back and down just to get a nice stretch into the shoulder. Keep kicking the foot. Keep that left leg engaged and reach the heart and the rib cage forward for 3 deep breaths. 2 and 1. Release that into a one-sided Bakasana, bringing the foot towards the glute, maybe switching the grip where you spin the palm over the base of the big toe, fingertips point forward, elbow points up, press the foot to the outside edge of the right hip. Maybe you tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, and lift the right knee. Good. Reaching the heart up and forward for 3 deep breaths. 2 and 1. Release that. Good. Let's take another break here if you want. Good. And then let's just do one more pose here before we switch how our body's oriented. So you're going to bend both knees for Dhanurasana. And before I go into Dhanurasana, actually, I kind of like to start off with a lot of space between my rib cage and my pelvis. So if you want, you can kind of come into a Sphinx, press into the elbows, lift the belly to kind of pull the rib cage away from the pelvis and then place it down. So you really like lengthen the belly. Good. Bend the knees, reach back with the palms facing in this time. Flex the feet and keep the feet hip-width distance apart. And then before you kick the feet, see if you can lift the thighs off the floor and then kick the feet to lift the chest off the floor. Good. Keep reaching the heels up towards the ceiling. And now if you'd like, you can point the toes. And if the lower back feels okay, you can play around with bringing the feet a little bit closer, but also see if you can bring the knees in towards each other as well. Good. Keep kicking the legs, drawing the lower belly in, and feel that Sphinx energetic pattern where the pubic bone reaches back and the rib cage reaches forward. Good. For 3, keep kicking. 2, and 1. Good. Release that. Tuck the toes, hands next to your chest. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to your knees. Take a deep breath there. Exhale fully. And then let's interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach the hands towards the floor as you reach the heart up. So just kind of moving into the upper back here. Maybe shifting the hips forward just a little bit. But really feel this lift into the thoracic. As you reach the hands up, reach the heart up, draw the lower belly in, and then gently squeeze the knees in towards each other. Good. Take one more breath here. And then exhale. Release that. Come back to your knees. And now we're going to do that was just kind of a variation of Ustrasana that I really like to feel this lift. And you really, maybe you notice, maybe not, but you really need to have the lower belly drawn in to facilitate and to like move the energy in the up direction rather than dumping down into the lower back. So we're going to do Ustrasana again. Feel free to do that form, that version again if you'd like. If not, you can tuck the toes and go back to the heels. Untuck the toes, go back to the feet. Hands touch the feet. Or you could always put blocks next to the feet and bring the hands to blocks. So when you're ready, fully exhale. Inhale. Start to lift the ribcage away from the hips as the pubic bone moves back and down. And then shift the hips forward. And again, inhale, lift the ribcage. Exhale, shift the hips forward. And when you're ready, you can do that as many times as you need to. You can reach back to catch the heels, catch the foot, or catch the blocks. And you can keep the chin tucked, or you can drop the head back. And once you're in your version of Ustrasana, engage the legs, press through the feet, shift the hips forward a little bit, draw the lower belly in, and then lift the heart up as if someone had their hands between their shoulder blades and lifted you up from the backside. Draw the lower belly and keep the lower belly actively moving in and up. Good. Shift the hips forward a little bit more for a couple more breaths. Inhale, slowly come out of it. And then exhale, come down. You can take a vinyasa or you can take a squat, whatever you need to sort of like reset before we keep moving into back bends. Exhale, chaturanga if you're moving through a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Child's pose is also nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. Let's jump through to seated. Okay. This time, I want to try Ustrasana again, but we're going to reach one arm back at a time. And it sort of starts to give you the feeling that you get when you do Kapotasana. Kapotasana is a really difficult posture, so don't worry if you can't do Kapotasana. And it also kind of starts to give you the feeling when you do drop backs. So we're going to go back to Ustrasana, and then we're going to reach the right arm first up and back, and then we're going to switch left arm up and back. So exhale fully. Inhale, lift the heart, draw the lower belly, and exhale, shift the hips forward, and then move through that pattern as many times as you need to come back into Ustrasana. Again, the toes can be tucked or not. Take a deep breath in here. Find your foundation, strong legs. Inhale, lift the right arm up and reach it back. Have the palm facing in, and as you reach back through the right hand, reach forward through the right hip. Keep drawing the lower belly in. Good for 3, 2, right hip reaches forward, right hand reaches back, and 1. Inhale, reach the right arm back up. Exhale, place it back onto the heel or the foot or the block. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, reach it back. Keep that lift as you reach the left hand back and the left hip forward. Draw the lower belly in. See if you can deepen the breath, maintain the pace of the breath for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, 1 breath in a symmetrical Ustrasana. And inhale, rise back up. Exhale, take a squat, take child's pose, or take a vinyasa. And do squat. Good. So that can be really intense. If it was really intense, it's okay. As long as you still felt that lift, which is hard to find. It's hard to find the internal support so that you don't dump down into the lower back. It takes a lot of awareness and a lot of practice. Okay. Let's come back onto our knees for one final back bend here. We're going to try reaching both arms back at the same time. If you felt like the one arm back at a time was like really too intense and you were like dumping into the lower back, you could also try this on a wall. So you can face the wall, and you might need to play around with how far away from the wall you are. So we're all going to inhale, prepare like we're going into Ustrasana, lifting the heart, shifting the hips forward. And when you're ready, instead of reaching the hands down, reach the arms over your head, palms to prayer, hands, fingertips to the forearm. As you look back, or you can have the thumb towards the center of the chest. And as you look back, reach the arms up over your head to bring the hands to a wall. And then try straightening the arms as much as you can. As you keep finding that rib cage lift, you could also try this without the wall, just reaching the arms back, not going into Kapotasana, just reaching the arms back, and that'll give your spine and your legs so much strength. I even kind of think it's harder than doing Kapotasana. So wall or no wall, when you're ready, or if you haven't already, start to move into it. Feel that lift of the rib cage away from the pubic bone, shifting the hips forward. Reach the arms back. You could also keep the hands in prayer if you need to. 3 more breaths. Inhale, come up whenever you're ready. And exhale. Good. Good. That was a lot. Take a squat for a moment, or a child's pose. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come into puppy pose. Bring the knees to the floor. Move the hands forward. And then either come to the forehead or the chin. You can keep the arms straight. You also have the option to do this with the elbows on the floor. Sinking the heart towards the floor. So with each exhale, allow the heart to move towards the floor. But keep actively wrapping the shoulder blades. Good, settle in. Say about 3 more breaths here. Gently come out of that. Make your way into a plank. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Straighten the legs. Exhale, lie down on your back. Inhale, bend the knees. Plant the feet alongside the edges, aligned with the outside edges of the hips. But the feet don't need to be so close to the hips. Depends on if you want to go into a deep back bend. The feet are as close as possible to the hips. But if you want to give yourself a little bit more space today, you can move the feet away from the hips. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis for bridge pose. And you can shrug the shoulders underneath. Press through the feet and catch the ankles or interlace the fingers underneath the hips. Good. Keep reaching the knees forward as you lift the sacrum. Lift the pelvis so the legs are active. Settle into the breath. One more breath here. And exhale, roll down the spine. One vertebrae at a time. Good. And now we're going to do back bends. We're going to do 2 more rounds of back bending. You can do bridge pose again or Urdhva Dhanurasana. For Urdhva Dhanurasana, bring the hands next to the ears, fingertips pointing towards the shoulder. And just make sure the hands aren't so close to the ears. Bring the elbows in towards each other right from the beginning. Inhale. Exhale, come into it the same way as bridge. Reach the tailbone, the knees forward. Exhale. Inhale. Come all the way up. Press through the hands. Straighten the arms and lift the pelvis. Maybe you're straightening the legs to bring the chest over the hands if you want to move into the upper back and the shoulders a little bit more, but that's of course optional. Good. Feel the inner thighs moving down towards the floor to help in spreading the lower back. Press through the feet, lift the sacrum, press through the hands. Good. You can take 1 more breath here. And then exhale, come down. And whenever you're ready, come in for your last round of bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana. And if you're in Urdhva Dhanurasana and you feel you have space, you can walk the hands in towards the feet. Finding all the same actions. Press through the feet. Feel the inner thighs moving down. Also feels like the knees move in so they're not splaying out. So the feet need to be parallel or as parallel as possible. So that the lower back spreads and the sacrum lifts. So you feel like the sacrum is lifting up and the pubic bone is resting on the sacrum. Press the hands down. Keep wrapping the shoulder blades. Stay here as long as it's comfortable. And when you're ready, you can slowly make your way back down. Good. So good. Hopefully you felt a little bit more space from everything we did before Urdhva Dhanurasana. Good. When you're ready, let's rock up to seated. And you can either straighten the legs to forward fold, or you can bend the knees a little bit to a diamond shape so the knees fall out and the feet come together. It's like a very wide Baddha Konasana. Both are good options to release the spine. So when you're ready, exhale, fold forward. Come into the breath, and if it's available, lengthen the breath just a little as we start turning towards closing postures to wind down the practice. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, come up. Let's take a vinyasa. If you want, you can also just go straight to lying on your back for shoulder stand. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Jump through to seated. Inhale, exhale, lie down. We'll do the first 3 shoulder stands. So bringing the feet over the hips. You can keep the hips on the floor, or you can lift the hips. Hands to the lower back, or maybe towards the rib cage. Legs are strong. Reach the toes up. Deepen, lengthen the breath. Shoulders away from the ears, so you're not putting so much pressure in the neck. And then you can come into Halasana. Bring the feet over the head. Maybe interlace the fingers. Good. You could also do this with the pelvis on the floor. And just reach the feet towards the floor. Couple more breaths here. And we'll take one more. You can come into Karnapidasana. So bend the knees and round the spine. Or if you're doing the variation with the pelvis on the floor, you could also come into Happy Baby. Deep breaths, slowing down the breath. Good, one more. And exhale, slowly roll out of that so the pelvis comes towards the floor, and then slowly lower the legs to the floor. And we'll do a counter pose, Matsyasana. Catch the back of the thighs, press into the elbows, and bring the crown of the head to the mat. And you can keep pressing into the elbows, legs are strong. Lifting the heart, lifting the sacrum, opening the throat. Deep breaths. Good. One more breath. And press into the elbows, catch the thighs to come out of it. And then from here we can go straight into Shavasana. Feel free to do any final movements that you need to. And if you're ready for Shavasana, allow the feet to move away from each other. So spread out the feet, spread out the hands. Completely relaxing. Feeling the backside of the body being supported by the ground. So feeling the earth moving up towards all those points of contact with the ground that the body is making. Feeling into the support so that you can completely relax. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like. But if you're ready to move out of it, slowly start to wake up the body. Deepen the breath. You can reach the arms over your head. Full body stretch. Exhale. Bring the knees into the chest. Fall over to either side. When you're ready, slowly make your way back up to a seated position. We'll just take a few moments here. Close the eyes if you'd like. Finding a straight spine. Feeling into the residue. Feeling into the body. offering the fruits of your practice, that they may be of benefit to all those who cross your path, to all sentient beings. Giving away the fruits of this practice. Let's bring the palms to heart center, and we'll close with an Om. You can join or just listen. Inhale. Thank you, everyone.